But I'm not the enemy, and I'm definitely not racist, so don't get it twisted.
Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Before I get into today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below and follow me on social media. This is my Instagram. This is my Twitter. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Lana Del Rey and white feminism. Because if you didn't know what's going on, Lana Del Rey put out a statement because she was butthurt that, I don't know, other women were succeeding and she wasn't. It's hard for me to understand what exactly prompted her to put out the statement. Do you not have a publicist? Like, there needs to be some kind of filtering for famous people to go through so they don't ruin their careers. But anyways, so if you don't know, a couple days ago, Lana Del Rey posted a statement basically in response to a few of the world's top black female artists getting #1s and talking about what can be seen as more progressive content. And Lana, I don't know, seems to be jealous that it's working for other people, and she feels like she couldn't. There's really no justification, so let's just get into what she said. I'm gonna read some of the statement, not all of it, because it's really long and a waste of time. So she says, now the Doja Cat, Ariana, Camilla, Cardi B, Kehlani, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce have had #1s with songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, cheating, etc. Can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful by being in love, even if the relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money, or whatever I want, without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse? ? I'm fed up with female writers and alt singers saying that I glamorize abuse when in reality I'm just a glamorous person. With all the topics women are finally allowed to explore, I just want to say over the last 10 years, I think it's pathetic that my minor lyrical exploration detailing my sometimes submissive or passive roles in my relationship has often made people say I've set women back hundreds of years. Let this be clear. I'm not a feminist. But there has to be a place in feminism for women who look and act like me. I don't get it. I would say that's the thesis. The most important and concerning line of this entire statement is not a feminist, and there has to be a place in feminism for people who look like me. Relax. First of all, who are you comparing yourself to? Like, Beyonce? Do you really think you're in the same lane as Beyonce? It's just the literal epitome of white feminism to be like, there needs to be a space for someone who looks like me. You look like, what do you mean? Who looks like you? The patriarchy loves you. Classically, stereotypically beautiful white porcelain women. And then you're saying you're not a feminist, which, why are we so embarrassed to identify with feminism? Lana is the kind of woman who like lives in her own world and thinks that her experience as a woman is the roughest experience there is. Poor me. I like older men who hurt my feelings, and there's just not a place in feminism for someone like me. Just tone deaf, like so tone deaf. Calling out Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and all of the struggles that they've gone through and all of the criticism and scrutiny that they've gone through, not just because they're women, but because they're black women. Because they have to not only face sexism, but also racism. Lana has never heard of intersectionality. No, she's never heard of that word. No one has ever said that to her. Once. Imagine how tired we are. If you think your life is hard because of this one terribly oppressive structure that you're experiencing as you move through the world, imagine if you had not just that one, but also this crazy one that has to do with the color of your skin, and then they're combined. It's not saying that your life isn't hard. It's just saying your life isn't hard because of the color of your skin. So don't say, well, why are all these black women on top and they get to say whatever they want and they're being successful? Why can't I make music like that? No one ever stopped you from making music. The difference is they persevered through their adversity and you decided to sit at home and complain about it and then write a weird statement attacking other women. That's not feminist, and that's not feminist or like, yeah, I have an issue with women that don't identify as feminists. What are you doing? What's your angle, bro? All of this is so anti-feminist with like trying to shade itself as I'm just different and you don't understand me and I'm not a feminist. I'm just too different for anybody to get me and there's not a space for me in this feminist world. If we were to do a deep dive into the history of feminism and all the exclusion of women based on race or sexuality, Lana, let's turn it on. Like, just for a second. The privilege. The privilege. Like, privilege must be blinding. For women out there who are all, I'm not a feminist. If you're afraid to identify with feminism, like, ask yourself, why do you hate yourself? Like, please just ask yourself that. And ask yourself what you're getting from being an advocate of the patriarchy. Ask yourself what you're getting from that, because you're getting something from it in your head. And it's adjacent to your privilege. I just really need you to sit down and do some journaling and deep digging into why you don't want to be a feminist and you don't believe in your own rights. Because it makes no sense. Truthfully, it makes no sense for a single human being on this planet to not be feminist, but that's a different video. But for a woman to not be feminist, why do you hate yourself? If you don't think you should be equal, do some journaling. Like, this entire post came from a place of insecurity of these other women are succeeding, doing something that I thought I was doing, but then I got criticized for it. Well, they just kept doing it anyway, and maybe they're more talented than you. Sorry. Maybe they're better performers. I've seen Lana perform. She's good. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't dance. She doesn't have dancers. She kind of just stands there and is Lana, which is cool. But if you watch what Beyonce did for the Super Bowl, like, she put in a lot more work than just standing on the stage and being my white feminist misunderstood. There's no place for me in this world. The thing is, black women have to work twice as hard, and that means they're twice as good. Black women have been raised to persevere in the face of adversity because they've been raised to expect adversity from every which way. No corner of the world is going to give them a break because we are not just women, but we are also black. So no one's gonna give you a break as a black woman, which means if you're going to go for your dreams, you have to be freaking amazing. Like, you have to be the best. And they work and they work and they get incredible to the point where statements like this are like, are you kidding me? You're coming for Beyonce? Anyone else. Pick anyone else. Do not pick Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, and like, Ariana Grande isn't black, but she's very talented. And Doja Cat we're gonna get into in another video. There's no why is Beyonce getting things I am not. Lana, do a quarter of the work that she does, and maybe you'll see some more growth. I don't know. The way to get ahead in the world is not by dragging other women down, not by calling them out and saying, well, why do you have this and I don't? Like, as a white woman, if these black women are more successful than you had the head start and you're behind, so I don't know what to tell you. Like, if people are afforded the privilege and they still don't get there, maybe you're just not that good. Like, yes, her music is good. It's super niche. It's like one trick pony. Like, you know what you're getting every time. Like, sad, aesthetic. She's not delivering over and over again. How could you expect to have a #1? Did you try, like, okay, let me not be rude, but let's just relax a little, Miss Lana, or Elizabeth, I think that's her real name. Just, I don't know, get into a studio. Whether it be a recording studio or a dance studio, just get into a studio and work harder. And maybe you'll get that #1. Can I please start making music? Who stopped you from making music? Who? Since when do you need permission to do your job? Figure it out. Do not complain. If you want to make music, you have my permission? Like, what? I don't understand. White feminism amazes me again. So I just saw she posted a follow-up, because what's better than a bad idea is doing it twice. A couple of final notes on my controversial post. Despite the feedback I've heard from several people that I mentioned in a complimentary, no you didn't, whether it be Ariana or Doja Cat, interesting you left out the 2 hardest hitters that you mentioned, Nicki Minaj and Beyonce, because maybe she realized you should not have said that. The importance of self-advocacy for the more delicate and often dismissed. So let's talk about delicacy. The patriarchy loves delicacy. Delicacy is not something that people often attack women for, because that's like a quality or an expected quality of femininity, is to be delicate. So do not act like you're being radical by being delicate when that is like part of the stereotypical definition of femininity, is to be delicate and soft and quiet and like a flower. A pretty flower that is seen and not heard. That is a big part of what the culture and the patriarchy see as feminine. So it's not a hot take, and you're not different, like you're not shunned. That's widely accepted, and there are tons of feminists who are delicate, and there are tons who are strong, and there are tons who are both at the same time. But don't act like you're being scrutinized for being delicate when that is something that... She's one of those people that is like, oh, it's so hard to be pretty. That's what I'm getting from this. There has to be a place in feminism for pretty, perfect, beloved, sought after white women like me. I just don't see the space. Probably because it's the whole freaking world. My point is, delicacy is not something you get made fun of. In fact, the opposite is something that women get scrutinized for being too hard and too blunt and too aggressive and loud. And especially when the women she was coming for in her first post were black women, and like being an aggressive black loud woman is such a negative stereotype. More delicate and often dismissed, softer female personality. It is not dismissed. Look at the internet. Watch a movie. The delicate, soft female has been the standard forever. It's only now that we're starting to kind of see more women as main complex characters who can be loud and bold and blah blah blah. The classic stereotype of femininity is not dismissed. Watch any movie from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Try and find a girl who's loud and accepted. And that there does have to be room for that type in what will inevitably become a new wave / third wave of feminism that is rapidly approaching. Watch. I personally would just like to know who told Lana Del Rey that she discovered feminism. I love a white feminist telling me the third wave of feminism is coming when it's already happened. Third wave feminism is an iteration of the feminist movement that began in the United States in the early 1990s and continued until the rise of the fourth wave in the 2010s. So again, I express the need for a publicist or fact checker. Watch, like she thinks she's a psychic. She discovered feminism. I didn't discover feminism either, and I'm not a psychic feminist, but I'm pretty sure that the next wave of feminism will not be led by Lana Del Rey. Headline, grabbing critics. Can't read. and want to make it a race war. The whole people being like, don't make everything about race is a whole video of its own, but how dare you build structures completely based on race and then say, why do you make everything about race? I want to make it a race war when in fact the issue was with female critics and female alternative artists. She's saying female like you can't be female in black. That's what she just did. Remember when I said she doesn't understand intersectionality? She just tried to replace race with the word female. Like they don't coexist. Like I don't exist. And maybe I don't. Maybe if Lana Del Rey says I don't exist, I don't exist. Because if things can't be about race and femininity, then I am not sitting here. So that's really awkward. Making it about race says so much more about you than it does about me. If the women I mentioned don't want to be associated with me, that's absolutely fine by me. They don't care. Don't even, they probably didn't even read the post. Like they're busy making #1 singles when you're busy writing on your typewriter. And that's the difference between a star and someone else. Whenever you say, let's not make this about race, you lost. Whenever you say this isn't about race, and if you're making it about race, that says more about you than it does about me. It says that that person is black and offended. Yes, it does say something about them, and it also says that you're offensive and tone deaf. It says something about both of the people. Like, I don't have respect for her anymore. I thought she was cool before, you know, whatever. Had my little teenage moment. Summertime Sadness, a bop. Young and Beautiful, great for the dance competitions, but that was a very ugly response. And a very ugly statement to some very successful women, and particularly the women of color. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say except for that I'm disappointed. That's all I have for today. Just had to make a video about that real quick. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video if you liked it. That's all I have. Have a good day and I'll see you soon. Bye.